Hi, welcome back to Wings lecture. I'm Professor Vetri. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you that an introduction to semantic verb. Semantic verb. What is actually semantic verb? So we know that website, right? Web we know, and we know what is W3 and all. So semantic verb is also a kind of extension from W3C, World Wide Web Consortium. So what is the scope or what is the aim of semantic verb is to make internet machine readable. Okay, to make what are the data available in the internet that has to be machine readable, right? So that's the main goal of semantic verb. So at present it came into practice, right? And while start including the example, you'll come to know about how it really using. Okay, so in today's world, in today's web, we can see that most of the web contents that was consumed by humans are mixed up with text and multimedias. So it can be images, videos and graphics and all. Okay, it's all mixed up of text and multimedias, right? So all the web contents are automatically generated from the database which we have stored already in our websites, right? So the typical web users are we will go to Google, or we will go to Yahoo or any other search engine just for searching some data, or else to get meet new peoples, or else we will go for purchase something on online stores, or else we'll go for some other researches. It's all based on the purpose, right? But the typical purpose of web users today is we will go for data search and searching something on internet, and we'll go for kind of purchase online trading applications or websites and all, right? So the key role of keyword based search engine in websites is usually we know that in Google and Yahoo, so we used to give the input as a token text. Like for example, if you are looking for buy something on the internet, like good mobile phone or good smartphone, so like that you will give the keyword to the Google search engine, right? It will provide you a bunch of result to you in very first page, right? So all the searches in the search engine are based on the keywords, right? Here the token texts are converted into keywords. Then, so while talking about the success, see, without keyword search, the internet world would be miserable. Okay, so we cannot even imagine that. So we cannot search something on the internet, then what is the use of internet? Why we go for internet? So because I cannot, it's not possible to know all the websites what are available in the world. See, if I'm searching something like I'm looking for a paper, I'm looking for a research paper who done by some researcher from UK, or some researcher from Ethiopia, from some researcher from Australia. So how can I get that kind of information? So I definitely I can do only search. So is that available or not? So the keyword based search engine plays the crucial role in the World Wide Web, right? And now let's go to the problems or the limitations what we have in today's web. So if you say something, if you are calling, like people used to say that age is only a number, right? But actually age is clearly a word, right? So we know that if someone is asking to you what's your age, what you will tell? So you will tell your age, right? So that's the thing. A machine that cannot interrupt exactly what you are saying. So it will look only the semantic, what text you have given to a machine, right? So that is always ultimate. Then, so we'll talk about the problems of keyword based search. So usually if you search something on the internet, it will have high call. So that can be relevant to your document, or that cannot be, but it will have a high recall, but the accuracy of the data which you are searching, so it's not promised. Okay, so we cannot tell that yes, for the first 10 links what you are getting in the Google first page, Google search engine, so definitely that must be the right one, so you can go for it. No, it's actually not. Okay, and in sometimes you will not get any calls, right? So it's very for some cases only it will be very tough to get the thing if it is not available in the internet, or it is sometimes a lessly used keyword sometimes, so it will be a bit difficult for the search engine to get to bring the right data to you. Next, while talking about the sensitivity, actually it's completely depends on the what vocabulary you are giving to the search engine, right? So in this world there are so many languages, so many words are there, so everyone using their own language, so it's very difficult for the machine to bring out the result what you are looking for, right? And the human involvement is important, so without human involvement you cannot go without that. Still we are thinking that artificial intelligence still exists in this way, right? So what you are thinking on your mind, a machine cannot read, right? But based on your input, based on the experience with you, so machine can predict that what you are going to do, but a machine cannot predict, machine cannot interrupt what you are thinking, what you have in your mind, so it's really impossible, right? So what the thing is, human involvement is necessary. Then what about the web searches? So whatever the information you are received from the internet, so you cannot apply directly into any kind of software tools, you cannot believe completely, right? So you have to verify the things, whatever the information you have received from the information internet, so you have to go through, you have to validate the information before going to use. For example, if you are looking for a code like I want factorial of number, okay, so you are looking for a C programming code of factorial of number, you can get it from many websites, but once you start applying on your compiler, so then only you can start believing it, yes, it's working. Like now the next key problem is still it's because of lack of vocabulary. So what are the machine accessible vocabularies are? You may think that yes, Google know everything, but it's not actually. So we are searching in Google by using similar kind of keywords, whatever the things you just go to how to do it, or else what will be there, or else how to find, and what is the answer of this question. So this is the typical way of searching in the internet, but still if you put something different on the internet, so definitely it's slightly difficult for the search engine, right? So here you can see there is two sentence, which is I'm professor of computer science full stop, I'm professor of computer science comma, but machine will read only a sentence, okay, it will not look what you have typed with punctuation or not. No, it will not look. So it will bring you I'm professor of computer science means it will bring the same result if you put comma or dot, but the real meaning is it's going to be slightly difficult. So first one is a complete sentence, but second one is not completed it, right? In that way. Next, the different meanings what we discussed before, which is there is a sentence I love apple. So it may have many meanings, right? So you love a fruit, apple as a fruit. I love Apple as a mobile brand, and I can love Apple as an actress, right? So on what basis internet will bring you the information, right? So you have to think that, so what exactly the semantic web doing is, so it will try to catch up the thing what you are exactly looking for, right? So how the semantic web approach? So it is going to be it is going to represent the web content in form of easily machine readable, machine processable, right? So in artificial intelligence, semantic web plays the huge role for accessing the data, for processing, and for predicting the data. Okay, next. So the limitations of current knowledge management technology, usually these are the typical limitations: searching information, extracting information, maintaining information, and viewing information. See, for the past 15 decades, we have bunch of data, so nothing has been erased from the web. Okay, so whatever it is created, it still exists in the servers. So whenever you want, you can access. So it can be 100 years of old data, but still it's available. So there is nothing like, so if you have used this car for 15 years, so you cannot go for it again, you cannot drive it again. So there is no rule that. So it's almost 100 years old data in the internet. So yes, it will bring to you, if you are searching something, it will be there, right? So maintaining those information and extracting those information without using some techniques or without using some algorithm, it will be very difficult, right? So how the semantic web enabled knowledge management? So let me say that the main thing is the knowledge will be organized in conceptual spaces according to its exact meaning, right? And next thing is maintenance and knowledge discovery of the semantic. The semantic web uses some automatic tools for maintaining the knowledge, right? The maintaining the data which we have already in our internet. And the semantic query answering, so that is also an important part of semantic web. Is so it will apply different set of queries to bring the result to you, right? What exactly you are looking for, and defining that who may view certain parts of information. It's already came into practice, but based on the input given by the user. If you go to Google, if there is something like some videos you cannot watch, so it will ask you whether you have 18 plus or not. But if you can made it up, right? So you can create a mail ID with you can make up the date of birth in before 90 means, definitely it will allow you, right? So in that case, these are the things when the semantic web came into play by full-fledged means, so it will start working. Definitely the World Wide Web start working on these areas. Next, the impact of semantic web you can see in online trading apps. So the e-commerce applications which we are using in nowadays. So you see, if you go to your any street, or if you go to any website that, yes, I'm searching something on Amazon, yes, the prices looks cheap, I'm going to buy that product. But if you go to Flipkart, so you can see there is some difference. Yes, I've seen that iPhone 64,000 in Amazon, but here it's showing that 63,000. So what's the big deal? So how I can find it out? See, the solution is Sharpboot. Okay, Sharpboot, which is nothing but most of the companies, they are using Sharpboots for branding, for promoting their product. But how the Sharpboots exactly do working based on semantic web is, see, there are so many applications nowadays we are having. The limitations it's already exist, right? So when it comes to semantic web enabled B2C, you can go to BikeDeco or many insurance. You can go to Google. So you'll get the information. If you want to compare the products, yes, it's available. But Amazon, Flipkart, all these websites provide comparison in between their website. See, if you want to compare product from their website only, they you can do. But so some other third-party websites are providing all the information which you are looking for. If you want to compare, if you want to buy a bike means, so you can go to BikeDeco. You can choose the bikes, and then you can get you can go for comparison, which one gives good mileage, which one specification is really fine, and you can check everything. You can check even what about the EMI, and what are the finance options they have, and what about the the outlet stores of those bikes, right? So all the information which are available in the internet, in that particular website, right? So that's how the semantic web working in, and semantic web ruling in current website. So it's same as for B2C and B2B. So B2C, which is nothing but business to customer, and B2B, which is nothing but business to business, right? And wikis. So next important part, which is wiki. So take for example, you can go to Wikipedia, whatever you want, you can search whatever you want in the Wikipedia, every information, you can get any information, so it will be available. If you want to search some personality, famous personality, you will get the information. The main thing is you can edit the information as well. Okay, so that can be the disadvantage, but it still exists, right? So you may get the data, but we cannot assure you that whatever the data you have received from the Wikipedia, so it's not compulsory, it's not must that all the informations were true. Okay, so that's it, and these are the usages, and in coming videos I'll teach you how the semantic verb working, and what are the standards approved by W3C, and what are the things you have to keep remember in your mind while talking about the semantic verb, which is the standardization of W3C. W3C is nothing but WWW World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, so they are providing the standardization for all the internet users. So that's all about oncoming videos. Once again, we'll repeat. I'm going to explain about XML and XML schema, and what is the role of RDF in semantic verb, what is the role of XML in semantic verb, and what are the ontologies we are having, ontology engines, how the RDF and XML, these language providing and playing a major role in semantic verb. Okay, so keep following up, and thanks for watching.